Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your December reading. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Midheaven in the sign of Aquarius. But nonetheless, if you clicked out of curiosity or you're cross-watching, there's a message in here for you as well. Do mind my voice if it does sound weird. I did catch some sort of a cold. As I was shuffling your cards and cutting the deck and everything, I was feeling a sense of you guys feeling like, well, it's not even a feeling, it's like you guys have everything that you could possibly need, but you don't think that you do. Okay, so coming into the first week of December, because these cards did clarify that for me, what came out was the 10 of coins, followed by the moon card, and the 10 of swords. So you get what I mean, right? Coming into the second and third week of December, as far as potential obstacles, right, or just energies internally that you might feel if you haven't already experienced this. Again, energy's fluid. What came up was the 7 of cups, followed by the King of Cups, and the 8 of swords. Now coming into the last week of December, where you will be or what you can do to overcome, what came out, you have the 3 of wands, followed by the world card, and the Knight of Cups. I do want to say you might want to watch the Capricorn reading, because in the obstacles position they also have the 7 of Cups. Yet again, here I just feel like you've created something for yourself. You've created something that can be considered a legacy, because it will outlive you, depending on like the platform that you use, the medium that you use for whatever it is that you've created, right? If this isn't a family home life type of situation, and this is more about like work, creativity, career, you definitely acquired a lot, even if it wasn't on a monetary standpoint. But as far as becoming a more esteemed, a more seasoned individual, because at the bottom of the deck you do have the King of Coins, and he looks like a very esteemed type of person. I wanted to say regal at first when I saw him, but it's not regality, it's just more so like wise, right? As far as like learning what he can provide in thought and in ways in which he communicates his thoughts. It can be somebody that does have a lot of money though, so you guys are trying to work towards being that type of actualized person, that type of respected person as well, because he's kind of more of like an elder. You know how they just say like respect your elders. So that's what's coming up. So it might be something like that. Maybe there's an elder that you need to pay your dues to or pay respect to, go visit in that sense. But with this 10 of coins, I definitely do feel like you have acquired much by way of your intellect and by way of communication, right? And by way of your field of study, or again career path. You've set the tone for something. Things have been built up, and you've definitely received the confirmation that you may have wanted or desired from the universe as far as the path that you have decided to go down at this point. And it's been nothing but positive, yet and still I feel like there's a blockage here, because on some level you don't think that you've done as much as you've done. You don't think that what you've done has been important. You don't feel like you've really contributed to society in the way that you envisioned it to be, because swords energy can be somebody that is a visionary in the mind, you know, very futuristic, and they feel like they're just so misunderstood. But sometimes you are ahead of your time, again, because Aquarians, there's one stereotype that is true. You guys are otherworldly, right? You're out of this world, you're out of the realm. There's a sense of disconnection because you resonate more with things that can't necessarily be explained. I know a lot of Aquarians are into stuff like sci-fi and extraterrestrial type of TV shows, right? There's some type of some type of message within it that just deeply resonates with you guys, that you connect with. And so I feel like to some degree the things that you've done in life, it doesn't meet up to the standard of that extraterrestrialness or otherworldliness here, because you don't think something just doesn't feel complete no matter how complete it is to you guys. And that's what I'm getting, because you do have 2 10s. Some of you guys might be seeing 10-10 a lot, and you don't necessarily understand what that means for you to do, but you could understand it more if you go back to what you were thinking when you saw that number. If you can just try to jot down, like, even if it's a fleeting thought, just try to really remember what your body was feeling when you saw it. Again, what you were thinking, what song was playing or is playing by the time that you catch it, so you can start to understand yourself what that might mean for you. Or you can do your Googles, again, do some research, because that's also what Coins talks about, and try to understand it more. But again, it's going to come from a third party. It's going to come from somebody that is outside of yourself. So if you kind of want to be that type of person to write it down first and then see how much correlation there is with what comes up through the messages, through the information that you find online, you're more than welcome to do that. I do highly suggest that, but you can't just sit and think on it and not act on it, or try to learn about whatever this conflict is or whatever the synchronicities are that you might be seeing here with this energy up at the top. The moon is all about like the subconscious, and you can only ever see what the moon shines the light on at the time. So there's only but so much that will be revealed to you. And so whatever it is that you're trying to achieve next or have next, this is a time of patience, right? You can't rush what is shown to you. You don't know what's at the bottom of the ocean. Nobody does. You may never know. You might need to come to a point where you accept that you might never know all that you need to know, that the answer to life is that there is no answer. Okay, so do keep that in mind here with the 7 of Cups and the King of Cups energy. I feel like you guys are just really confused emotionally, and with this 8 of Swords, like with your thoughts, and trying to gather them at this time into something that is cohesive, so that you can really articulate what it is that you might be feeling again or experiencing again with this King of Coins energy that also is here at the bottom of the deck. Some of you guys might be interacting with people that don't quite do it for you, like they don't scratch the itch, is what I'm hearing. They're very shallow. Communications are shallow. Intimacy, it's shallow, maybe non-existent. Just having that emotional connectedness is not there. This can also just be what's going on with you. This doesn't have to be like a romantic partner. This doesn't have to be a platonic partner or family members. But with these 2 kings that are here, I do feel like it's more paternal influences or just male archetypal energy that is missing right now in your life, that you haven't fully embodied, or that are trying to reach out or that need you at this time. Some of you guys are coming to the end of life or getting up there in age, and that requires a certain transition here with the 10s that are also here, and with these 2 kings that are, of course, elderly men. So it's needing to learn your body in the state that it's in now, your mind in the state that it is in now, because you know they say that the mind is one of the faculties that start to leave, right? You can't necessarily remember, like you become a little bit more forgetful. There you go. As well, like emotions may start to change for you if you've been the type of man that's been just so stout and like so well put together for so long, and you've neglected your emotional nature. You might find as you get older that you are more of, I don't want to say a sap, but you are more emotional and you're more open to expressing yourself emotionally. That might confuse you as far as like figuring out the way that you try to again articulate or to express and or show these emotions. it might feel different, and it's going to, as you try to navigate this new space, right? But better to let it out than to keep it in, because that's just going to cause internal deterioration. Okay, so that is something to consider here. Some of you guys need to just have a cleanse or flush out your emotions through crying, through any spiritual or healing work, tonal energies, using things like singing bowls, which I'm getting here with this Seven of Cups, or just listening to healing music, or emotional music, whatever can kind of help you clean out any impurities at this time. That will be a great source of detox. I'm hearing detoxification that you might need at this time, so definitely go with that. And I apologize, I keep having to move my camera around because the sun is like so harsh. I hope you guys can see me, but if not, just listen to my voice at this time. That's really what's the most important. I feel like I look a mess anyway. But coming into the end of the month, you guys have the Three of Wands with the World card and the Knight of Cups. So this can be alchemizing some goals and reaching some goals. The threes are all about cooperation as well. The threes are all about remaining encouraged no matter how discouraged you might be feeling or thinking at this time, your own paranoia through your own dark thoughts, okay? It's needing to understand that all is okay, all will always be okay, feeling encouraged again. Threes are also all about growth. So with acknowledging who you are or where you are and where life is headed for you, right? Releasing any illusions of control that you may have over your life and how you want to go out, in a sense, right? I'm not saying anybody's on their deathbed. I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just saying, like, as you get older, you can't continue to do what you did in your 15-year-old body when you're 30 or when you're 50 or when you're 90. You know what I'm saying? It's having to change with your body, really, essentially, and being okay with your body. Taking more of a back seat at the end of the month when it's necessary. Here with the World card, learning how to be a little bit more observant, balancing the need to achieve with the need to just be, and being okay with existing and being okay with where the growth has brought you up to this point in this year, and going into 2019, what it is that you're okay with releasing as far as any potential baggage you might have been carrying here on your back, right? Any heavy burdens or just negative thoughts that you've been carrying with you, and how you plan to release that going into the new earth or the new world, going into 2019 with this new energy, this new vision that you might also have here with the Three of Wands, with these new goals and the ways that you strategically plan to overcome them. You got to see how much of yourself, I don't really know how I'm trying to say that, like, you really got to see the results of your labor this year. You really got to see yourself in another light, right? And how strong you are, how brave you are, how much you could do. So just imagine when you put just that ounce more of energy, or have that ounce more, that mustard seed more of faith, how much further you can go from where you are, right? But also just being okay with what you've done as well. And then with this Knight of Cups energy, it's just loving yourself no matter what, loving life no matter what. So it's just feeling at one with the universe and at one with your emotions, your emotional state, and being better able by the end of the month to express that, especially if it's in matters of the heart and family life. It's working through those energies and working through Mercury retrograde. So by the end of the month, when it's direct again, you've already learned those lessons, and you can implement them better, and you can be more romantic, you can be more sensitive, and be secure within yourself with expressing those sensitivities with your partner. Your root chakra is here, heart chakra, throat chakra, but above all else, heed your own personal intuition. So get that third eye and crown into balance. Goodness, the sun. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. So give me a thumbs up if this resonated. Share this with your friends and family. Do subscribe for more, and hit me up in my email if you're interested in a private reading.